Hey, what's going on, guys? It's DZ, and it occurred to me I have not dropped one freestyle video this year. Maybe because where I live it's been super windy and fiery, and right now it's raining. But I snuck a couple in there. I've just been super busy with everything going on in life. I'm sure all of you can understand. So I gotta shout out this Volador, my daily driver since it came out, really. And I just want to say, I think that 3.5 inch sub 250 is the way to go for freestyle rigs and cinematic rigs. If you can get the props out of view, there's a lot of frames that do that. I like this frame simply because I have not broken anything on it. And I have the Let's Fly RC motors on here because I was going to get the tank. Hey, wait, let me get this bird out of here. My spot now. This is a new park I've been ripping. It's kind of hard to rip here because there's always people. I live in California. There's always people everywhere doing all kinds of weird shit. And but yeah, I mean, this thing, I can rip it in my backyard. I can rip it at the park. I can rip it I can take it to a bando. There's not a lot of bandos where I live, so but I can definitely tear it up in a concrete jungle, you know. And I still haven't broken anything. So it says a lot about the frame. Now it is props in view. Now this is my freestyle rig, and I don't mind props in view because I personally think the only people watching freestyle videos are freestylers. You know what I mean? And if you want to get nice cinematic stuff, props out of view, then you know, get a frame with props out of view. I wouldn't get the Oasis Fly. That thing, the motors suck, underpowered. The arms break in the same place, right where the motors mount. And like I said, this thing's been through hell and I haven't broken anything. And if you live dangerously and you put a bigger battery, like say an 850 or a 960, you'll get 7 to 8 minutes of ripping and probably more of cruising. I don't cruise this thing, so I wouldn't know. But just even with that heavy 03, the thrust to weight ratio is so nice that I could still fling it like a 5 inch. But it still has the agility of a full freestyle quad. In fact, I'm still a beginner, by the way. I do suck, I'll admit it. But I think it's important when you're beginning to have a frame that's extremely hard to break. And I've run through a lot of carbon, and this thing has yet to even crack. Now I do have the bando boots on there, and I think that's what's really stopped me from killing any of the motors. But I had some other cheap motors on here before, and they died right away. As you can see, I'm not nice. I don't go and retrieve my quad when I crash. I just crash flip it out of whatever situation it is, and then I rip it back. And I still haven't killed a motor on this. And it's running 4S. I'm not running a capacitor. I haven't run a capacitor since it fell off and started sparking against my carbon frame. So took that off, and yeah, I mean, this thing's nimble enough to just kind of rip around. Thrust to weight ratio is nice, and it's just responsive. I got a Superfly tune on here and a little bit of custom this, custom that. I have not tuned the ESC because this board was running BL32, so I can't reprogram it. Or I'm sure you could, but honestly, I'm a big fan of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's why I just leave this rig exactly how it is. I'm not going to change anything. I'm not going to stick the 04 Pro in there. I was thinking about sticking the light so I can get 15 minutes of flight time. But to be honest, I think the 03 sits above the 04 Lite. I'm being quite honest. So if I had to rank it as far as video quality, or whatever you would call it, I'd have to say 04 Pro, 03, and then the 04 Lite. is the hierarchy of these cameras, as far as I'm concerned. Because if you know what you're doing, you can pull a respectable image out of the 03. Having said that, watch my 04 videos, and god damn, that 04 is just performing in low light. Oh, whip flip. So I can't trippy spin. I told you, I'm not that good yet. But look at the thrust on this. That was not even half throttle. Boom, right into the tree. And will it get back up? Will it get back up? See what I mean? I don't go retrieve this shit. If you notice, my camera is focused in the middle and blurry on the outsides, which some people would say is desirable. But I actually just changed this camera out. I saved this camera though, just in case I want to swap it out. That's the one thing I have gone through, is that you hit the camera so hard sometimes that you may not scratch it, but it'll get bent or loose from its position, and you'll either have blurry or something will be wrong, or you'll scratch the lens. But I mean, that's kind of how FPV goes. Not everything's fail-proof. Now, I'm not specifically advertising that you set a rig up just like this, buy this frame or camera system. No. My main point of this video is that this is my favorite rig, and it's the most durable, and it's also the one I built myself. It was my first truly purpose-built freestyle rig. And I didn't skimp. I didn't go super expensive, but I didn't skimp. Now, the frame, I'll admit, I wanted the Tank S, but when I went to order it, it was sold out. So I figured 30 something bucks for the Volador. Look, it had some pretty respectable numbers. Those arms are pretty thick. And I said, as soon as it breaks, I'll order the Tank S. That's why I got the Tank S motors. And this thing is just a workhorse. Now that it's tuned in, that's a greeting from my niece. I gotta go.